Hi everyone, it's Miss Sims here. I am so excited to bring you another outdoor education video. I think you're really going to love this. Today is going to be exciting for two reasons. The first reason is we get to explore Glacier Bay National Park in Alaska, which is really cool, a great place. And second off, you get to learn how to become an official junior ranger. If you watch this whole video, follow all the steps, you will even receive a special certificate from the National Park Service and even a junior ranger badge of your own. I'm ready, I hope you are too. Let's get started. So let's find out a little bit more information about Glacier Bay and how to become a junior park ranger. From Seattle, where I am now, you can see that Glacier Bay is north, up in Alaska. One of the cool things about Glacier Bay is that it's only accessible by boat or airplane. I was lucky enough to be able to take a boat there, and I was able to see some amazing views. But before we get too far into learning about Glacier Bay, I want to give us some goals and success criteria so we know what to look out for while we're learning today. Our first goal is to be able to explain what a park ranger is and what a park ranger does. You'll know you were successful if you were able to identify more than one type of park ranger because there's lots of them, and if you know what that park ranger actually does inside the park. Our second goal is about the different regions of Glacier Bay National Park. It's broken up into different categories. Your goal is to be able to compare the different parts of Glacier Bay National Park. You'll know you were successful if you can name 2 reasons how the different sections are the same, what's similar about them, and at least 2 reasons about how the different regions are different from each other. A lot of what you'll be learning about the park today is going to be about the different plants and animals in the different regions. Before we get too far into it, I want to talk a little bit more about what it means to be a junior ranger. Now, when I was younger, I loved the junior ranger programs. I did them all over, and I'm actually going to post another video here in the next couple weeks about a junior ranger program at Newberry Caldera. But for now, let's focus on Glacier Bay, because if you follow all of these steps, you get to be what's called a junior ranger. Junior rangers are people who have learned about the area, and you basically take a little oath saying that you'll protect the public lands around you. That means you'll pick up trash, you'll keep things safe, and you'll make sure that you are being great to the environment. So let's get started on what it takes to be a junior ranger. Our tour of this park is thanks to the nationalparks.gov website. The link I'm giving you will take you straight to a section that says Become a Glacier Bay Web Ranger. This is all about that junior ranger program I was talking to you about. When you scroll down, you'll see different sections of the bay with different questions and pieces of information. You'll want to start at the introduction. You'll be able to look through maps, read information, and then answer questions that they have posted for you at the bottom. There's also an answer sheet that you can click on. This is where all the questions are going to be and where you're going to type in the information that you learn. It's broken up by different sections of the bay. You can see on this page it says Lower Bay and Outside the Bay. When I click back to the regular website up at the top, you'll see that the different sections are also across the top with more questions, information, and even some little videos that you can watch if you want more information. All of the maps have numbers with buttons. You need to make sure that you're clicking all of these numbers so that you're getting the information you need. If you don't click on these, you'll have a really hard time answering the questions. So if you need help from an adult, this is a great time to ask them to come help you with this information. At this point, you might be thinking, well, I'm not exactly sure what my next steps are. So I want to make sure that we go through the beginning questions of the Junior Ranger program together as a group, so that way you understand what you can be doing. That way you're set up and you will be successful at becoming a Junior Ranger by the end of this video. If we start on the introduction, we can read the information first. Glacier Bay is a place of rapid change. If you came to the front of the bay 250 years ago, you would have seen a massive wall of ice. Today, that glacier moved back over 65 miles to make the beautiful bay we know today. Explore the different areas of the park by selecting the numbers on each map. Write your answers on the answer sheet and become a Glacier Bay Junior Ranger. The first question says, Glacier Bay is a land of mountains, glaciers, rainforest, and wild coastlines. Based on the map, how much of the park do you think is covered by ice? Now, to complete my answer sheet, I'm actually going to save this to my computer and type in it as a PDF. This might be hard for you and you might need some parent help. You're also more than welcome to print it out or just to write your answers on a separate sheet of paper. That's fine too. So once I've saved it, I can click the text box button and then I can start typing inside. I thought that half of the park was ice because I saw a lot of white, which I think is ice, but I also saw a lot of water and green that could be trees. After you're done typing, make sure that you format it so it's really nice looking. I'm even going to change the color of mine and the shape of my text so that way when I send this in to the actual park rangers, they're able to read my answers really nicely and they know exactly what I was thinking and what I typed out. So make sure you spend a lot of time thinking really hard about what you're going to write and answering these the very best you can. You can always have parent or grown-up help if you need it. As you go through the different questions on here, you will be guided through understanding what our goals were. Remember, our goals were not only to understand what different types of park rangers do, which is one of the questions on there, you'll also have to work through this worksheet to understand the different sections. After you've completed this entire worksheet, you're going to be asked to do the next step. You are only going to do the next step if you get permission from a grown-up at home first. Let me show you what's next. Now you might have noticed at the top of the answer sheet, there's a section that says name and address. Before you fill this out, make sure you get grown-up permission. If you have grown-up permission and you typed into it like I did, you can send Glacier Bay National Park an email to glba_education@nps.gov. Make sure you include your name and your address so that they can send you your official certificate and badge. You can also email it if you just typed it in a separate Word document. If you printed yours out or wrote it on a separate sheet of paper, you can put it in an envelope with a stamp and mail it to P.O. Box 140 in Gustavus, Alaska 99826. Still make sure you include your name and address so that you get your certificate and your badge showing that you are officially a junior ranger. And that's it. You've completed everything you need to do to not only learn so much about a really amazing national park in Alaska, but also to become a junior park ranger. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments or suggestions or places that I should talk about next, activities you'd like to show me doing, go ahead and put a comment on here or send me an email. I can't wait to hear from you. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time with Miss Sims Outside.